Welcome to Attican Plays Railway Empire.
All right. Hi, this is Attican, and welcome to another Railway Empire fundamentals video. I actually thought I was through making fundamentals videos for Railway Empire, but I keep getting the same question over and over again, and I thought it would be useful to just kind of answer the question and discuss it so that we could all figure out what's going on. So I'm going to use the sandbox mode because the money and the economy and stuff is irrelevant for this. And we're going to go to our favorite spot, the east, up here to Toledo and Grand Rapids, where we usually do these things, the fundamentals, that is. And the question that I keep getting is this: why won't my trains use all the available platforms? Why do they queue up and wait until... Why will 5 trains queue up and wait for one train in one platform to get out of the way before they go ahead and go into the station? So we're going to talk about why that is, what's going on, and maybe more importantly, what can we do about it? So let's set up a little deal here, our usual thing, and let's put lines between Toledo and Grand Rapids, and let's do some definitions first, just so we're all on the same page. And I know this is, I don't mean to insult you, but this is a station, okay? So the station could have 1 to 4 of these things, platforms. So this is platform 1. You always count them out from the main building. This is platform 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you'll say it's also saying track. It's another way of saying is track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4. So you've got these 4 tracks on a station, or 4 platforms on a station that we can use. And actually, now that I think about it, track is more accurate. It's a track. The platform is this little waiting area next to the track. So we've got track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4. Okay? And then we'd have the same thing up here in Grand Rapids, track 1 through 4, coming away from the building. So, okay, so, all right, enough of that. Now, let's just go ahead and set up a line between Toledo and Grand Rapids. And I'll bet you it comes out to about 140 miles. I'm just going to guess. Oh, long one, 143. Okay, way off. All right, so we've got a connection between these two. And now we've got track 1 in Toledo connected with track 1 in Grand Rapids. And of course, we like to double track. And I'm going to do it the way I think most of you who keep asking me this question are doing it, which means you're using both platforms like that, thinking, oh, I can use both platforms. Okay. Well, now the first thing, just to clear it up, is if we tried to set up a line right now, and we had these lines set up to go in one direction. So if we had, drive on the right, let's say, so you have to go up this way and back this way. We could not even set up a line if we had the signals on there, because the trains will not just jump back and forth between platforms to take off the way you need them to. So you have to be able to get to both of the platforms. So let's just assume we know that. And let's go in here and put our nice little, with our version 1.4 update, we've got these nice little diamonds we can create, or crossings, like so. So now down in this end, a train coming off these tracks could use either one of these, off this line here, could use either one of the tracks at the station. And if we do the same thing at the other end, oops, now we've created the possibility to use either one. So let's go ahead and set signals in there. So let's say we're going to drive on the right. Drive on the right. Let's put a tower in the middle. So we've got, all right, we've got signals set up and we've got trains running from the right to the right. Now, on the right, excuse me. So we've got 2 of our platforms available. So let's just see the problem. Okay, first of all, let's see if we can set up the problem. So I'm going to set up a line between Grand Rapids and Toledo. And I'm not going to say anything else except there it is. There's a line between Grand Rapids. Let's just run, we can run the Dragon. Doesn't matter since it's top on the list. Okay, so we've got one. Let's just fire up 4 trains real fast. 3, 4. And watch those trains coming down here. All right, speed up. Let's watch these trains come down here to the other side. Well, they fly, don't they? I haven't played in a while. I've forgotten how fast they go. All right, there we are. It's in track 1 now. Notice that one is just waiting. They're all waiting on that guy to get out of track 1. Now, why in the world aren't they using track 2? This is the question I get all the time. Why are my trains stacking up and waiting like this? Well, the answer is criminally simple. The game route optimization automatically looks for the shortest route between the 2 stations. And it picks that route, and if you don't tell it in otherwise, it's going to use that route all the time. So these trains are going to always run over there to track 1. And in fact, if we look at let's see, where is that? We're gonna, okay. If I set up another line, and we look at Toledo, I should be able, where do I see my utilization? Oh, here we go, right here. All right, so I can see that track 1 is getting used a lot, and the other 3 aren't getting used at all. All right, so first of all, let's just do the obvious. Here's how we fix that situation. Let's just start over with this. I want to get rid of all these trains. And we're just going to act like we're starting over. Or like we've never done this. Or we didn't do this, I guess I'm trying to say. Okay, so now I've got a nice clean line with nothing on it. Now, if I just set up a line from Grand Rapids to Toledo, and let's just do it like this. We'll use the Jerome Weston method. We're going to go from the left, from track 1 in Grand Rapids to track 1 in Toledo. There's a line, and there's a train. And then I'm going to slow down. I'm going to set up another line, and I'm going to go from track 2 in Grand Rapids to track 2 in Toledo. And there we go. Now I have 2 lines, and then I'm going to duplicate these lines, duplicate the first one, duplicate the second one, and let's put a bunch on here so we've got it, so we can watch it. All right, so now I've got 6 trains that are alternating between those stations. Now let's speed it up and watch this, and watch what happens. First one came into track 1. Here comes 2 trains close to each other. That one's in track 2. There goes one into track 1. There goes one into track 2. There goes one into track 1. Do you see how this is working now? You see how they're efficiently using both tracks, and all I had to do to make that happen was explicitly name my stations or my tracks. And up here at the other end, it's doing the same thing. It's alternating between track 1 and track 2. See, that's the kind of thing I think people are trying to get, but you have to just explicitly name how you want to do that. Now let's talk about how would I use all 4 tracks. Okay, so lots of options we can use, and as you guys probably know, let's put some maintenance in here just so we don't start having breakdowns all over the place. Okay, now if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I tend to make very dedicated lines for all the things I'm trying to do. But let's say you didn't want to, and I know most of you don't seem to want to. A lot of people don't want to. You want to have this main line, and you want to be able to bring stuff into that main line and bring it into the cities of whatever platform you want. Now, what you have to do is make all these platforms available. And I'm going to show you two ways to do it. I'm going to show you the one way I would suggest you do it, and there's lots of different configurations. And I'm going to show you the way that the AI does it. So the first thing we're going to do here is delete some line. Okay. Get those trains out of the way, and okay, this is the way the AI would do it. Or one, well, they may do it multiple ways. This is the one I've seen. What they do, or what the AI does, is it sets up the lines like this. So that you've got these really simple, in that case, ugly. You've got these merges going on like this. So that all four of the tracks are all coming to this single point right here. And then, I'll probably have to back this up a little bit. And then we have a merge right before it. So our trains are told to run like that. So now we have two-way track down here, but you can see that a train coming down here could conceivably go to any of these four stations, right? So let's just see if this says it cannot be reached. Let's see if it can be reached now. Yeah, let's just see if this works now in Grand Rapids using the AI's way of doing it. So there's one in track 2. There's one in track 1. Here he comes out. He's waiting. He's going to track 1. Here comes some more. So yes, it does work. And that would be the simplest, probably the simplest way that you could make something where you would have all four available. Now, we still haven't used all four tracks yet, but just to show you that this is how the AI would do it. And that's a super simple way to set it up. Okay, and then let's just talk about maybe a little more elegant way of doing it. All right, let's take a line here and run it out, and let's just say we're going to run it out at least 20 miles from the station. And then we'll start our merge. And we're going to use our old school merging technique because these close lines, the new functionality they give us, and I'll show you that in a minute, how that works again. We'll kind of review it as I set up other stuff here. But we're going to go old school. We're going to go over one, accept, go over one more, accept. Now we have a line coming down. We're going to take our other line and run it down like so and merge it past it like that. Okay, now we have a line that can come down like this and is capable of going to any of the platforms coming in, and it's capable of coming out from any of the platforms and getting back over here to the right-hand lane. So I hope you can see that. So our signals, and we're missing one other thing to open up all four lanes. Down here at the end, we'll put in our diamond. Okay, so now we have the ability for this main line to come down and for trains to go in here to any of the platforms or tracks and come out and go on their merry way. So let's just get our signals set correctly. So we want them to always come in like this from the right hand side, and we want them to always go out on this one. We're still driving on the right. I'm going to get rid of that guy right there. He's in the way. Okay, does that look right? It does, except we need to tell this guy to go to the right. Okay, now we have the ability. Let's just make sure that that's working with what we've got set up so far. Let's just break up. Now there's one into track 1. Let's just break down gets better. Okay, here we go. There's track 1. There's track 2. So this is still working, but we think now we've got the ability to use more tracks. So let's just see if we do. So let's run a station from our logs. So let's just then move it back so we don't get too close. All right, so we're going to have a line that runs down, pardon me, from our logs, and let's just say that we wanted to use one track for Grand Rapids and one track for Toledo. So we'll come down like this, and now we can use our cool new functionality, the new merger. So I can set it to either line, inside or the outside. So let's do the outside one. And then it gives us a nice little cone we grab, and we go back up this way, kiss it up, go on up here and tie it off at the end. And set our signals, come on down here as far as you can come, go back this way in one direction. We can put our little Jan Jansen return in here if we want to. All right, so now we've got a line that's going to run from our logging station down here to Toledo. So let's run a train into Toledo. Now, what we can do is say, now you notice it's only do track 2 because that's the only one we've hooked up here, of course. So now let's run full. And now when we get to Toledo, we can see that track 1 and track 2 are quite busy, but you'll notice 3 and 4 are available to us. So let's go with track 3. Okay, so we'll run this line in track 3, and let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get everybody working together. So there's a nice full train. Oops, going too fast. And if I follow it, notice where it goes. It goes into track 3. And notice that it comes out and it doesn't even worry about merging or anything till way up here. That's why I did that kind of 20-mile run up. I mean, we could have merged them right here at the beginning, but I wanted to have space so that the trains that are coming into this one can queue up over here and not be in the way of this line that's coming in over here. So now we've got a train line, and let's just go ahead and run another train in there. Let's just crowd it up. All right, and now let's say we wanted to run wheat, and of course we could do the same thing if we wanted to run logs over here or whatever. Or this could be a warehouse that's coming in. Obviously, it could be anything, right? So let's run our wheat. And in fact, let's just run our wheat off the same side, but let's go down here and just tie in with the line we've already created. So we can go down here and create a merger. And come on back. Set our signals. Come on down here as far as you can and wait your turn. And now let's say we wanted to run a couple of trains of wheat from Perry Farm down to Toledo. So we can set up our rail line, run full, and now why is it giving us both of them? I'm going to pick track 2, but I don't. Oh, I see why. Because I haven't picked the other end of it yet. If I had picked the other end, sorry. See, now you can see track 2 is the only one you could possibly take, right? Because it's the only one connected to Toledo. All right, so now in Toledo we see that we've got stuff going on in 3 of our platforms. So why don't we run our wheat into number 4, into track 4, and go, and And let's run a couple more trains. Let's fill it up. We'll run a couple more trains. So now we've got 3, 4, 5, 9. We've got like 9 trains coming into Toledo. So let's see what this looks like now. So now we have a train coming into track 2. Here comes a train into track 1. Here's a train into track 4. Here's a train into track 4. That must be a couple of the logs or wheat. I'm not sure which one. Probably the logs. There's track 2. Here comes more trains. You'll notice we're not getting big queues or big lines or anything. Occasionally they'll wait for a second if they happen to be coming into the same one that's being used. But look at this. There we go. There's 3 straight tracks got used. One bang, 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 just like that. And so now we're getting pretty efficient usage of these tracks. So track 1 is utilized 92%, track 2 92, track 3 68, track 4 90. So we're getting good utilization of those tracks, and you'll notice we're not getting any big long tie-ups or queue-ups or anything else, and we're using all the platforms in the station. So I really made this video so that I could quit trying to answer your question in the comments and just refer you to this video in the future. But the question, of course, is why won't the trains use all the platforms? The answer is because the optimizer always takes the shortest route unless you tell it otherwise. So if you want to make sure that your trains are using all the platforms in your station, you can explicitly name them. And by the way, we could even put a second platform, another large station with 4 more platforms. This same line could actually connect to all of them if we wanted to do that. I mean, we could have one big main line that came in and connected to 8 platforms, and you could spread the work across 8 platforms if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend that because this line would get very, very busy. But right now it's not horrible. It's at 57% utilization in both directions with all that stuff going on. Even though the tracks here at the platform show a much higher utilization, the main line, the main trunk line, but you can see too, even at this, see how we're starting to it's getting crowded. Got a lot going on. We've got some waiting here that you'd really like to avoid, and that's why my style of play, I tend to run dedicated lines wherever I can. But if you want to use that trunk line concept, this is fine. This is working great, by the way. And if you want to use to get your flow into both ends, you want to set up something like this, where you've got the ability to use all the stations, or you want to set up something like this, which is simpler. And it works. I mean, you can look at it. It's working. It works just fine. And this would be the way the AI does it. You've seen examples of that. If you go out and watch the Viva Mexico ones I did, where I go up and look at the AI, this is how they do it. They have the 4 lines all merging together, and that's why there's that one piece of track that's only single track. There's not a double track here, because for this to work, all these 4 lines have to come in together to a single place so that they can come into that single place and go into the stations and come out of the station and go through that single place in order to get back on the line going out. But you'll notice this is working great. Now here's a problem. You get that breakdown here, and that's going to stop anybody coming. See, look at this. It's going to stop anybody who's wanting to queue up to come into Grand Rapids. But other than that one little problem there, one hiccup. See there, we use track 2, track 1. That guy's going to track 1. Well, that makes sense. We're only using 1 and 2 over here. We haven't set up the logs going back the other way, which we could easily do. But I think that gets the point across. So I hope you understand. The optimizer always takes the shortest route. It doesn't know from Adam about the fact that there's multiple tracks out here. And if you want to optimize your routes and use the platforms efficiently, then explicitly name them. Use some way to explicitly name them so that you are spreading the load across the platforms. So, hope that helps you. I hope that answers the question that I keep getting, and hope you guys enjoy the game.
I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player, and I hope you'll join us for our next Railway Empire video. Thank you.